Hello, Aries. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. All right, Ten of Wands. This is your maximum effort. Okay, you're somebody that, and we've seen this time and time again for you, when you're really committed to something, you give it your all. You give it all of your attention, you give it all of your energy, you put in maximum effort, because if anything's worth doing to you, Aries, it's worth doing right. Okay? And I think that with this maximum effort, we're sort of looking for maximum reward as well. All right. Now, Ten of Wands shows that maybe you are feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders right now. Maybe you're feeling as if that maximum reward is all on you. And maybe it truly is. Maybe this is a card that says it's time to start looking for helpers. There is, there's this idea of the, sort of the self-made person, the self-created person, that our success is, sort of better, tastes better. The rewards are sweeter when we've done it all by ourselves, But no one is an island. We're all sort of standing on the shoulders of giants here, that there have been and will continue to be other people in our lives, all of us, that we need to rely on, okay? So if you're feeling as if you have to do everything yourself, or you're feeling as if there is no help, there is no assistance, there's no one to help you carry the weight, we need to start looking around a little bit more, because they're there somewhere, okay? It may not be in the likely places. It may not be your close friends or your family or your spouse or something, right? We could need to look in other places for the kind of teamwork, right, that it might require right now, or other places where you can find support. Okay. This card very often is that person who needs to or wants to carry all the groceries in from the car, right? That you will load up in, you don't want to make more than one trip, right? So you'll load up both arms just full of grocery bags, and this is like, this is the way we try to do things, especially if we feel there's no one to assist us, then we might as well just try to put in this maximum effort and get the maximum reward and be done with it, But you're, at the same time, you're someone that is always ready to help out somebody else. You're very generous with your fire energy, with your creativity, with your assistance, with your vital energy, with your strength. You're always willing to lend a hand. Yeah. We'll put this card into some context. We'll see what's going on here. Okay, your intuition is being called upon right now. Okay, High Priestess. Two of Swords. Interesting. Interesting because the High Priestess is the second mystery of the tarot. And now we've got the Two of Swords. So we have this connection between these two cards. The High Priestess is that spiritual energy. It's that intuition. It is that light from, the divine realm, or your higher mind, higher genius, conscience, whatever you want to call it, your intuition, your instinct. It's showing you. The High Priestess is, and it's more illustrated in other tarot decks, but the High Priestess as the number 2 is showing you the way to the number 3. 3 is, of course, the Empress card, right? So that's what your intuition is trying to show you now, the results of all your effort. Trying to show you that on the other side of this huge Ten of Wands effort is your Empress energy, your Empress life, your Empress status, the big rock candy mountain, all of the best, the world that we only dream of. So anyway, there's a contrast between that intuition, that spiritual energy, the insight or the instinct or the synchronicity, and then of course what your intellect is sort of thinking about it, how we're thinking about it mentally, and sort of maybe we're on the fence about something, maybe there is a bit of a crossroads before you right now. We've got an Ace of Pentacles here, we've got a Queen of Pentacles there. And see, there it is. There's your Nine of Cups, happiness, right? The results of all of this effort. It's not the Empress card, but there's still time. There's the Hanged Man. There is the Hermit. Oh, we've got a Knight of Pentacles too. We've got the Queen and the Knight looking that way, past and future, yeah. And Three of Cups. I think the Three of Cups plus the Nine of Cups, it's a pretty good deal. I think that is maximum reward, okay? What we're really aspiring to, of course, is the Nine of Cups, the living that happy life, having that sort of bliss, having that wonderful experience of creating our life, of having our life becoming what we've always imagined it to be. Being happy with the amount of progress we're making, being happy with our success, being happy with our life and the way it's going and the things that we're pursuing and the way we're going about it. It's a function, it's a 9, it's a verb, yeah. And then the 3, I think, is, of course, the celebration that, yes, you are achieving this, that you are experiencing this happiness, okay? To me, this feels amazing. It really does. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. Let's just set it down right over here. And we're going to put our little octopus friend right there on top. Still don't have a name for it. Oh, actually, I think we were going to call it the, I don't know if we were going to call it the Eight of Tentacles. I think it was one that I saw in the comments that I really liked, either the Ace of Tentacles or the Eight of Tentacles. I think it's a really good one. If you have a different idea, let me know in the comments. If you think you know what that card is, put it down in the comments too. Let's use this intuition that's being called upon so clearly for you right now. Because that card's going to tie everything together at the end of the reading. Okay. Let's look around the room. Major Arcana, 1, 2, 3. We've got the High Priestess, which is a growing psychic awareness. It is your intuition becoming very loud, right? It's really a strong message coming in for you, okay? But we also have the Hanged Man and the Hermit, which I think are some things that we have to deal with. Now, I think in the last reading that I did for you, we also had a hermit energy that was sort of prominent. And the hermit energy is sort of, it's in the position of your environment, okay? So it sort of is like the effort that you're doing, the work that you're doing, all of this focus, all of this Ten of Wands energy you're putting into things, it's sort of sequestering you from other people. Whereas, what we want or what we may need right now is the teamwork, and maybe it's a pride thing. Maybe that's why we got the Hanged Man here, which is just kind of saying that if you don't do it on your own, then it's just kind of, it's a sign of weakness or something like that, right? And so the Hanged Man is sort of leading you into this hermit period where it's just like, hey, it's all or nothing. If I don't do this myself, if I don't succeed, if I have to ask for help, then it's a failure, And so it's kind of, it's that ultimatum that we give ourselves. We say, I'm either doing this on my own or I'm not doing it. that this is either an ultimate success or it's a complete failure, right? And so I feel that you're so intensely working on something now that maybe the Hermit's just not recognizing that there are a lot of people around that care about you, that love you, that support you, that can offer assistance in any kind of way. It doesn't have to be, a group effort or a team effort or say, hey, help me with these groceries. You can still carry all the groceries. Maybe you just need someone to put the cats away or open the front door or close the trunk when you're done. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be directly involved with your project. But the realization that we're all connected, that's what it really comes down to. On that sort of more macro cosmic level, realizing that, just because you feel as if you're doing this all yourself and the weight is on your shoulders, we're all interconnected. There's a lot of things that you aren't even aware of that have helped you already and contributed to you already. Let's say, whoever raised us, right? Teachers that we've had. Any wisdom that we've gained from anywhere, a book that we've read or something we've seen on YouTube. Or anybody that's ever sort of been there in our lives, directly or indirectly. Okay? So I think it's sort of, you're going to accomplish your goals. Don't worry about that. But I think what Spirit's trying to do is get you to connect with people and really feel that, you're not an island, you're not isolated. There are people that love you, that want to celebrate with you. And I think that the Three of Cups at the end is a recognition that, we're all in this together. We're all connected. We all are influencing each other in usually very indirect ways, but sometimes more direct ways too. So it's the feeling here with the Hanged Man and the Hermit that, you sort of have to give things up. If you're going to have this wonderful success, 10 of Wands leading to a 9 of Cups life, right? The dream that keeps on dreaming, the happiness that keeps on happening. The idea that if you want that, you have to give up other things. You have to sort of sacrifice your connections, your relationships even. Yeah. I mean, how many relationships do we sort of either, opportunities for relationships that we sort of pass on because we're focused. We don't want to lose focus on what we're doing. I feel like that happens a lot. So anyway, we've got our major arcana. We've got fire. We've got water. We've got air. We've got a lot of earth. And the earth energy, I think, is very important because it is, it's an appreciation of the past, right? It's sort of the retrospective. It is it's the understanding of everything that you've ever done, everything that you've ever been through, and also then the recognition of the future, the planning for the future, the forward vision, the future. So you have past and future here. And we need to continue in this present effort. Maybe with the air energy, there's a little bit of debate whether it's worth it. All this effort, do I still care about this? Do I still want to complete this project or do this work or focus my life in this way? Is it worth putting 110% of your effort into something, to achieve this goal or to live the life that you're living? Because maybe there's not an exact goal. Maybe it's just, it feels good to be in this creative energy, to be applying yourself to this work and to be building abundance physically, financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively, right? A 9 of Cups, which is basically this 3, this individual abundance, exponential. Yeah. So, let's look at the High Priestess for another minute here. This is a growing psychic awareness. It is the widening of the psychic aperture. It's the opening of the third eye. I think Spirit is really trying to connect you with everything. I was going to say something, but everything. It needs to be in contrast with that 2 of Swords. Okay, this is Spirit asking you to be open and receptive. to the insight that is coming your way, to the light that is shining down on you to show you sort of the bigger picture here. Okay, to show you, show you the present and the future, I think. Right? Because you're kind of focused on the past right now with the Queen of Pentacles. Then the Two of Swords down here is maybe that internal debate. This is cards down beneath the surface. It's almost like we're wondering, is it worth it? Should I quit? Do I still want this? Is it worth everything that I've had to sacrifice to have this Ten of Wands energy, this effort, this focus that maybe is taking time away from your friends, your family, just enjoying your life in those other ways, you know? Hanged Man and Hermit. You know, and maybe that's what the High Priestess is trying to tell you, trying to show you, Hanged Man and Hermit. And we keep hearing those words, Hanged Man, Hermit. Because maybe you've been sacrificing things that are very meaningful to you because you've been hyper-focused on whatever this effort, whatever this work is. And there is this now internal debate that maybe there's a crossroads. Maybe, do I have to start doing something differently? Is this an either-or situation? Is this something where, you know, I either have this Ten of Wands focus or I completely give it up? You know? I don't think so. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's a dichotomy. I don't think it's that black and white. That's what this card is trying to tell us too. Because this card is sort of pointing indirectly at that lunar crescent at the very top, which says, don't listen to me, black or white, left or right, do it or don't do it, all or nothing. Don't listen to that sort of thinking, but follow the star, but follow the starlight reflected through that lunar energy, the moon, right? Follow the High Priestess, which is the divine light, right? Follow the intuition, follow what Spirit is trying to tell you. Don't get stuck in this binary sort of thinking that you might be in, or it might be sort of starting to sort of form. You know, this, every once in a while we get this thought like, is it worth all this effort? You're putting in, you know, 24 hours a day doing this work, but are you spending time with family and friends? Are you missing out on some of the best years with your, you know, your loved ones, right? So where's the balance there? And then also, how do we continue to maximize our rewards, maximize our results, but maybe not have to put in that level 10 effort, you know, or to somehow economize or streamline that effort so you can free up more time. Because the wealth that we want, which seems like it would be a 10 of Pentacles here, right? It's not. It's the 9 of Cups. So the 10 of Pentacles is that idea of wealth, that we might have a particular vision of what wealth means. Well, let's reevaluate that. You know, let's find out what else wealth is. I think wealth is more of this happiness. Yes, it's physical, financial, but it's mental, emotional, spiritual, creative too. In other words, wealth is an abundance of time as well as resources, an abundance of experience, an abundance of love, you know. Not just an abundance of money. Yeah. So it needs to include all of these things. And if you're sort of working this hard and you think this is going to be an abundance of money, well, that's yet one little cup here. Okay, and I don't think that's going to fulfill you all the way. Right? Maximum fullness here. The Ace of Pentacles in the background position, I think sort of represents the beginning of this path for you. And I think the Queen of Pentacles is looking back at the Ace and looking back at the beginning when you first started this thing. And what was it like? What did it feel like? You know, I think there was probably a great excitement for you. I think that it felt like this was going to be the most exciting thing. It felt good, you know. And I think maybe the Queen of Pentacles is kind of longing for those days when maybe it was simpler. Maybe it was there was more time, you know, for other things because you weren't so busy, because your business, or if this is a work thing or career, if this is something at school, if this is your own personal project, creative project, whatever it is. Back in the day when it was simple. Back in the day when there wasn't as much effort needed. Back in the day where, maybe it didn't seem like this was going to be such a big deal, like such a big job or career or business or whatever it is. And things were simple, and there was more time for other things. Or back at the beginning, when you had that sort of enthusiasm and satisfaction and it felt good to be doing this, right? For, maybe you're doing something that's really creating wealth, long-term wealth for your family, for, your kids or something, that you're really trying to put something together here. And at the beginning, it kind of seemed like I'm doing it for the right reasons. It feels good to be able to provide. It feels good to be doing something positive and successful and something that's growing, and it's really going to start taking off. And, it felt like it was really a wonderful thing, And the Queen of Pentacles is very good at looking at the past. You're looking at the long, winding road that it took to get you right here, right now. And sometimes the Queen of Pentacles can get stuck in that past, looking at those beginnings, the first few moves of this. And so I think Spirit's trying to say, okay, we've done enough of the retrospective. Now you understand what started it. You understand what you liked about the beginning of the path, or the first, where you've been so far. You understand what you like and don't like about that. You understand just more about everything, right, as far as this path goes. And you're able, hopefully, to distill that into wisdom, into a deeper understanding and a functional wisdom, right? That everything that you're looking at from the past, you're able to distill it down into little kernels of wisdom that you can apply to your life right now. And looking forward at this Nine of Cups, I think we are, we're sort of not reevaluating necessarily, but we're realizing, or we are reifying what really is important to us. What does feel good? What kind of abundance do you want? What really is going to make you happy? I don't think it is the same thing we thought it was when we started, okay? And maybe here it was just, I'm creating all this money, it's going to be generational wealth, it's going to be really big time, I'm successful, it feels good. The Nine of Cups is kind of saying, okay, well, yeah, we can still create that, but we need other things too. So do we have to rearrange some things? Do we have to just simply be aware of the people around us and make a bigger effort for those relationships? Okay, still doing all this effort, all this work to get this wonderful success, the maximum rewards here. But we realize that wealth means something more to us, that happiness means something more than just the Ace of Pentacles becoming a Ten of Pentacles, And so there's striving toward a fullness of life. Yeah, we're going to talk about the path of the serpent now, and as we do this path here, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything, supports the channel. I appreciate that. I have another channel, Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. Go check that out if you are interested. It seems to me like you've had to grow up very fast in life. I wonder if you I wonder if you struggled a bit when you were a kid or as a young adult, And I wonder if part of that Queen of Pentacles is really trying to understand yourself, to come to a deeper realization of why you have the need to put this much effort into something and where this sort of fire comes from. This is a lot of ambition. This is a lot of creative fire, a lot of will, a lot of attention, a lot of endurance, a lot of responsibility. And the Hanged Man here is kind of someone that's saying, I'm willing to suffer and sacrifice for what? Right? For what? For your friends, family, for your life, for your future, for the business, for the generations, for the world. Why are you sort of beating yourself up with this Ten of Wands Why does it feel, why is there this need for us? You think you're carrying all these grocery bags, and it's just, you're really struggling. It's a lot, it's heavy, right? And you're getting those red lines on your arms and stuff, your circulation's getting cut off, and it's grueling, right? It's suffering all the way to the door. Why? What is that for? I mean, that's tremendous energy. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think this card is saying, why do we do that? Like, what is it that we are trying to prove? What are we trying to accomplish? What is the reason behind that? And I don't know the answer to that. Spirit wants you to ask the question. The High Priestess wants you to ask the question. Why don't we sort of holler into our family members, hey, come get the groceries? Why don't we make a couple different trips and do it a little bit easier? Maybe we're just trying to exercise our strength. Maybe it's just a show of strength. Maybe we're proving to ourselves that, okay, I'm a strong person. I can handle all of this weight, because the hanged man is suffering. The hanged man is punishing themselves. And High Priestess is asking, why are we doing that? And a lot of the time we'll say, well, we're doing it for the sake of my loved ones, my family, my friends. Doing it for the sake of efficiency. I want it to, I want it to be faster. I don't want to waste time, so I'm just going to take all the groceries at once. But is it really? I mean, it's an interesting question to ask ourselves, why we're putting in so much effort here. The Hermit in the position of the environment, I do feel that you do have loved ones around you. Maybe you are doing this for your family, for your for your kids or for grandkids or for the next generation of people, or just for your employees maybe, or for your future self. Okay, your future self. But I feel like we've sort of lost connection with that, because this is, the Hermit, someone that sort of spends all their time in their office, is focused on in the laboratory working and doing this thing. And it's kind of like, Aries, oh God, we haven't seen Aries in weeks. We don't know how they're doing, and maybe people try to call you and we just we don't answer the call. A lot of text messages coming in that we're not really responding to. I gotta focus. I'm just doing this. And at the end of the day, I'm beat, I'm exhausted. I don't have time to talk on the phone or respond to text messages. I'm just gonna go to sleep. And so the sacrifices that you're making seem to be those very relationships, the very reasons why you're doing all this effort anyway. Okay? So the message, I think, from Spirit is to reconnect with your people. Okay? I think that all of this effort you're putting into and it seemed like this really vibes with the last reading too. Put effort into yourself, into your relationship with yourself. Okay? And I think that's a very big part of the Hermit energy too, is to understand kind of what's going on with you. Just physically even, right? Just getting in touch with your body again. And how you feel. Are you breaking down? Are you wearing out your parts, Do you need some rest and some relaxation, a little TLC, A little T-Boz, left eye, and chili. And what about those relationships too? Do they need attention, nurturing? Is that going to help you to restore yourself by focusing on those, by reconnecting with those reasons why you're doing all of this work? Whatever those reasons might be, right? Because the Hermit is a little isolated. The Hermit has spent so much time doing their work that they sort of have lost connection with those people that are the reasons why they're doing all that work. And I think this is really something, this is a universal message. This is something that all of us need to focus on at one point in our life, I think right now this is what you are, this is the energy surrounding you, but I can see that in my own life too. Spending so much time focused on this tarot channel, this YouTube business, and it really is a 24/7 job. I have to really remind myself and make it a point to just put it down sometimes and spend time with my family, You know, we've got a beautiful wife, Lenore. Ula Tea Leaf Readings, go sub her channel. She's almost at 50K. And then, of course, our 4-year-old daughter who needs to spend time with us. And, you know, so it's a balancing act, right? And it's kind of like that is level 10 effort. Your level 10 effort means that you're putting in what you need to do for your business or for your work or your job or your career or what your personal effort is, but then also putting in effort toward those other components of your life that all together add up to your happiness, your wealth, and the reasons why you're doing all this to begin with. You know, sometimes, honestly, I tell my wife, I said, if it wasn't for you and our daughter, I probably would never have gotten into this. You know, I would have just stayed at my old job, and I would have probably denied my calling, you know, and just stayed there at that job, you know, indefinitely. And I think that's a very important component for you too. Feeling that this is your calling, that this is Spirit that has called you to do this work, that this is what you're meant to do. And Spirit's just trying to refocus you, I think, reorient you, and reconnect you with everything going on around you that's supposed to be part of this work, because I feel like you are following your destiny here. Okay? We've got the Knight of Pentacles in the position of what we don't want. When we're over here, we didn't want that energy. When we're over here, we're focused on the past. Right? So we don't want that future vision. But when we're on the path of the Serpent now, we realize that we got to focus on the future, that we realize I need this card. I need the Knight of Pentacles. I have to turn from my Queen of Pentacles energy and throw my vision forward. Who am I? Where am I? What am I doing down the road? A year, 5 years, 10 years, right? Who do I want to be? What kind of life do I want to be living? You know, do you see yourself on a beach with a pina colada? Do you see yourself still doing this? Do you see yourself in a little cabin in the woods somewhere? You know, and who's with you, and what are you doing, and what kind of life are you living? Are you living the happy life, the good life? Yeah. Because we could live the good life and we can still be putting in maximum effort toward the business, maximum effort toward your friends, your family, your personal development, self-care, all of this stuff, right? A good question that the Knight of Pentacles needs to ask, and if that High Priestess is doing anything, she's asking questions. Your 10-year plan, why can't you do it in 6 months, right? Why can't you do it in a year? What is it that we believe that is that's sort of extending this out for so long? In other words, if we have a goal and that goal's 10 years away, it means you're going to be doing this 10 at once, you know, for 10 years, right? Just as an example. Why is that the timeline? Okay, so it's just asking for us to evaluate that timeline and see, is there a different end game? Is there a different sort of exit strategy here? Are you going for early retirement? Are you working until retirement? Are you trying to build up a business that's going to be sort of autonomous, you know, and sort of self-generating? We've got to look at the future and really see what our end game, what our goals are. And that's the question right now. Okay. Three of Cups at the very end. It's the celebration. Okay, it is the family coming together and just being happy, celebrating. This is us spending time with our people. This is us focusing on our loved ones, right? This is us showing appreciation to all of everything, just showing just gratitude, general gratitude. You know, gratitude toward the people that have manufactured this desk. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what it's made out of. I couldn't build it if I was forced to try. So very grateful that things exist, that people are doing the things that they're doing that allow us to do the things we need to do. We're all connected. I think of everything I have in this room, every component of that camera was assembled, was built by someone, something. Maybe it was built by a computer or a machine, someone had to program that machine. That there are people involved in all aspects of our lives, even indirectly. I never met the person that built this desk. I would shake their hand, give them a hug. But there's a gratitude for things, for resources, for things to be there for us, for our friends and family, right? Those things closest to us, but we can work our way out. So with the Three of Cups here, I think Spirit's advising us to start that gratitude journal. Yeah. Let's write down as often as we can those moments or those things that we should be celebrating, those people that we feel connected to. Let's write down those moments of joy and love and connectedness, because that's what it's all about for you. Okay? I think that's why you're doing all the work that you're doing. Let's look at the mystery card. I bet it's going to be a 9 or a 10 of Pentacles, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe a 6 of Swords. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Oh, of course. Yeah, duh, Paul. It should be the Empress, right? Because what did we say? That the High Priestess is showing you. And I should find the High Priestess in the... Bear with me here. Finding the High Priestess in the Rider-Waite-Smith pack, because you'll see that the card number 2 is showing you the path to card number 3. It's the Fool's Journey. I'm sure it was designed that way on purpose, because in the cards of the tarot, the High Priestess is card number 2. The Empress is card number 3. It shows the Fool's Journey, right? The High Priestess here, which was, this is one of this second card that came out in your reading today. It's showing you the path to the Empress. You see those pomegranates behind, that garden behind the High Priestess. That is the Empress energy. That is the Empress status. That is a life that is connected. That's not just material success, right? That's realizing that, life grows and lives and decays and dies and grows, and it's this cycle. Things are constantly rising up and falling down all over the place. It's a constant regeneration of life, And so in a way, it's kind of saying, let's enjoy the people, places, and things we have in our lives now before they're not here anymore. We're not going to get this time back. Let's say you got young kids, and I feel this way about my 4-year-old. I feel like I spend a lot of time working, and that's time I don't get to spend with her, I try to look at it as, well, I got a 10-year plan. I'm trying to do this for her so that she can have something, substantial for her life and whatever. But we're not going to get that time back, so we have to make sure that we are present. Okay? And I think that the High Priestess is asking these questions to us, to all of us. Why are we doing the things we're doing? What's the plan here? Right? What is your awareness? What is your appreciation of the things around you? How are you connecting with yourself and with those people directly or indirectly that are sort of helping you, that have been there along the way, that are there now, and that will be there in the future? Let's be present, And to be present, sometimes we have to look at the past, sometimes we have to consider the future, and then say, okay, I'm here right now, and this is the way I'm going to live. This is the way I'm going to operate. Okay? Perfect confirmation. High Priestess directly to that Empress energy. Your life is going to be tremendously successful. Make sure you're there to enjoy it. Okay. I want to thank you for being here. We're going to do an extended reading. Click on the link in the corner or down below. New readings for Aries are on Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything. Subscribe to Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. I try to do 1 or 2 stories a week over there, okay? Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.